Hey everyone, I'm Sakar, and today we're going to be going over my Dot Sork Necro DK hybrid that I've been really enjoying lately. It's so much fun. It's got so much pressure and a lot of burst potential as well. So for me, this has been everything that I want in a PvP build right now. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to be an Orc Sorcerer. I think that there's a lot of different races that are pretty good right now for Sorcerer, and just in general, the game. I think Orc is very good. I like Nord on my other Sorc as well. He's really strong. Khajiit would be strong. Wood Elf would be pretty good as well. Dark Elf would be really good. I think there are a lot of good options for race, so I don't think it really matters in the long run, as long as you're one of the pretty good ones, more or less. Also, we're using Thief as our Munda Stone to increase our overall crit chance, because our recovery is pretty high already as it is at base. So I wanted some higher crit percentage, and right now, just sitting here just chilling, we're at basically 36%. So I like that a lot. Our attributes are 30 points into health and 34 points into stamina to give us a max magic pool of 16.5k, a max health pool of 30.6k, and a max stam pool of 20.4k. And then also Jewels of Mizrael as our food. That way we increase our max health as well as increase our stamina and magic recovery as well. So on top of that, we're also going to be Vampire Stage 1. Really, at this point, I've kind of taken Vampire off of most of my builds because it just isn't worth it in my opinion anymore. So the extra increased cost that all that stuff costs, I don't like it. So for me, I just don't even do any of that vampire stuff anymore. So onto our gear. Let's start with that. So we're going to be using Dragon's Appetite on the body at all times. I know it's been changed recently, but I still really like it. I think it's really solid. So what it does is it gives you lines a weapon of spell damage. It gives you 2 lines of stamina recovery, so that's really good for your overall recovery, and then increases your damage done to bleeding enemies by 225. Also, dealing non-bleed damage to the bleeding enemies generates a stack of Dragon's Appetite for 5 seconds, up to once per half second. After 10 stacks, you consume Dragon's Appetite, and then you're going to get a burst heal as well. And that's going to be based off of your higher maximum magic or stam. So it's not the biggest heal in the world. I know that. Trust me, I know that. But look, that's a free heal just by doing damage. So for me, I think that's awesome. We're already getting our increased damage taken on all our damage done on all of our other abilities. So for me, that health is a bonus. So that's why I like it a lot. Also, moving on, we're going to be using One Piece Magma Incarnate Shoulders. It's going to be the only reason why is because we have 1 extra slot on this build. So getting that to be a little extra magic and stam recovery, I think that's awesome. So medium impen for Magma Incarnate, heavy reinforced chest piece for Dragon's Appetite, medium impen Dragon's Appetite hands, light rallying cry sash in divines. Guys, rallying cry, we're basically putting it on most of our builds because it's really strong right now. It's amazing, top tier. It's one of the most meta sets in the game right now. So rallying cry, what it does is it gives you lines of crit chance, max magic, another line of crit chance, and then when you're healing, critically strikes while battle spirit is active. Basically, what I mean is, while Battle Spirit is active, that means either in Cyrodiil, Battlegrounds, a duel, or Imperial City. Only those 4 times can that happen. Critically healing yourself or an ally is going to give you 1650 crit resist and 300 weapon and spell damage for 20 seconds. And then also that can apply to your teammates as well, but it does lower the more people you have in your group, so try not to group too much. That being said, it is without a doubt one of the best sets in the game right now because just of how much crit damage there is in the game. This mitigates that incoming damage so much, like so much more than anything else in the game. It's so meta, it's so good right now. Also, heavy reinforced Dragon's Appetite legs in reinforced. I say reinforced, whatever, you know what I mean. I realized in the middle of recording that I didn't even have my monomyth on, so I was kind of curious about that. So on top of that, medium impen Dragon's Appetite feet, Monomyth as our mythic, because in my opinion, Monomyth is the best in slot meta right now. Like, no doubt about it. It's so good. So Monomyth, what it does is while in combat on your primary bar, you're going to be getting Major Force and Minor Berserk. So that's amazing extra damage. That is phenomenal. That damage is, like, guys, Major Force. We've got Major Force on here with 36% crit percentage. Also, on top of that, we're hitting so hard. It's so good. Having that much crit damage on top of Major Force, undeniably amazing. Also, we're using Rallying Cry as our 2 other rings, as our ring and our necklace. Rallying Cry is going to be in protective for both of them, and then with also weapon and spell damage enchantments as well, so that we can get our damage up as high as possible, with a protective on all 3 of our jewelry, giving us a lot of tankiness as well. So we're also going to be using the Master's Perfected Maces. I'm bringing them back out, guys. We haven't used Master's Dual Wield in, it feels like a few years at this point. So I wanted to bring them back out, and this build does not disappoint. So what it does is it, on the perfected line, it gives you crit chance. So that's really nice for overall damage. I love that. And then the actual 2-piece is twin slashes, deal 916 more damage for each of the initial hit attack and the bleed as well. So that's going to be based off your higher weapon or spell damage, and that gets a lot higher because we're just sitting at base right now, not even buffed up. We're going to get to about like 1200, I think it gets to, more damage per hit. So that's really nice. That extra damage is really good, and if you increase that damage as well as all the other damage from Dragon's Appetite, oh boy, people are getting hit by it. It's really nice. So like I said, Master's Perfected Maces, main hand is Nirnhoned with a disease enchantment on it. Offhand is going to be charged with a physical damage enchantment on it. That way we can restore as much stamina as possible. Back bar, Rallying Cry Ice Staff, defending with a weapon spell damage enchantment on it. Rallying Cry Ice Staff is, in my opinion, meta as well. Best in slot, phenomenal. So let's move on to our skills. Rending Slashes is going to be what's proccing your Master's Perfected Dual Wield. On top of that, you're also proccing Dragon's Appetite, because then the enemies are going to be bleeding. So that is a great way to just make sure this is on your enemies at all times. Initiate most fights by hitting Blast Bones and then Rending Slashes. You will be doing all the damage after that. I promise you. It's very good. Open your fights with that. I'll show you guys the combo for everything after we're done with this. It's worth it. So Rending Slashes is going to be your main spammable, kind of, more or less, but we'll talk about that more later on. Burning Embers, I wanted to put another dot in here because I felt like having a dot with Dragon's Appetite would be really good for your overall just way to keep it up. And on top of that, the dot gets increased damage as well, so why not, right? So between the dot getting buffed by Dragon's Appetite and then in the skill line of the Gravelord, you get extra dot damage as well. So that's why we kind of leaned into that, and I really like it so far. I really like it. Flames of Oblivion, I really wanted this on my bar because of multiple reasons. One, it's extra damage that you have over time, and it's phenomenal. Like, it's really good. And then on top of that, you're getting Major Prophecy and Savagery, increasing your weapon and spell crit by 2,600. Worth it. 100% worth it. I highly recommend it. That way you can have crit percentage on both of your bars. Definitely the way to go. Streak, this is going to be a way to kind of stun your enemies and just kind of run them over real quick. Very, very, very worth it. And then on top of that, it'll be a CC, so you can line up your Blast Bones with that, and then you can also line up your other damage. Worth it. One of the best skills in the game. Blast Bones, guys, unpopular opinion maybe, perhaps, I like Gravelord and Blast Bones more than I like Animal Companions and Shulks. I like it better. I think it works better. I think it's easier to line up. Plus, on top of that, you get Major Defile. So I think it's overall better. It's a better source of burst damage, in my opinion. I like it. I went with Dawnbreaker as well for my ultimate. I wanted to try between this, and then also I wanted to try Dual Wield ultimate, and I liked them both, but I think I like Dawnbreaker a little bit better because of that initial upfront damage that if you don't want to do Streak and you want to do like a have your enemies already bleeding from rending, then you want to hit a Blast Bones into Dawnbreaker combo. I think that's a lot better for your overall burst damage if you can catch somebody like that. So that's why I like it. Crit Surge, look, Crit Surge is always one of the best skills in the game for your major brutality and sorcery, so it's going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 20%, and then also while active, dealing critical damage is going to heal you for 3,300 health, and that can occur once every second. So you have a lot of dots on this build, and they're going to be critting. You're critting very often on this build, so this is going to heal you so much. Make sure your dots are always on your enemies, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be set up for success, I promise. Hurricane as well. This is your source of Major Resolve and Minor Expedition, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6,000. And then it's going to also increase your movement speed by 15%. And also you get a nice little AoE around you. So it makes it so that you do a lot of damage in that little circle around you. And that damage increases over time. And as well, that damage can crit. So that's going to also maybe go towards your crit surge. You're just critting every second and you get that heal. Phenomenal. It's a great 1-2 combo. I put it on most of my builds for a reason. It's one of the best buff skill lines in the game. Resolving Vigor. This is a nice 5-second heal over time to get you right back up to full health. And then it's also going to give you Minor Resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3,000 for 20 seconds. So it's going to make you nice and tanky. Healing Soul, this is going to be your scribe heal. This is an amazing heal that I can't recommend using enough, and unlocking this, it is so worth it. Because of this, you can get a burst heal, you get healing back over 10 seconds, and then on top of that, you're going to get major vitality for 10 seconds, increasing your healing received by 12%. 100% worth it. Try that. Ellie Susceptibility as well. This is going to be your source of major breach, increasing or reducing your enemy's physical and spell resistance by 6,000. And then every 7.5 seconds, the enemy is going to be afflicted with the burn, chilled, and concussion status effects. That is amazing damage over time that you do to them. And then also having major breach on them makes it so that they're getting hit a lot harder. Definitely worth it. Put this on the build. And then Swarming Scion, that's why I still have Vampire on here, because I don't know, I wanted something on the back bar for an ultimate, and this was the kind of the best, like, kind of ultimate, because if you're about to die and you have enough ultimate, you can pop this and you're at 100% health with like 40k HP. You just gotta get out of there now, and you're gonna have no ultimate when you get out of it, but it is worth it because it is going to keep you alive. Moving on, let's look at our champion points. Our blue slottables are Ironclad, Resilience, Fighting Finesse, and Untamed Aggression. Our red tree is Pain's Refuge, Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, and Fortified. And what we really care about with the green tree, because green tree is a little bit different. Green tree, what we really care about is Breakfall, the most important thing. Put your points into that. Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, and if you're still leveling up skills, use Discipline Artisan. Definitely worth it. Put that into there. That's going to increase your overall experience gain for currently active skills in their skill lines by 3% or by 15% overall. So make sure you have that. It's going to make leveling new skills and stuff a lot quicker. So let's go over all of the buffs on the build and basically how to approach every fight on here. So as always, you want to keep your buffs up. So Crit Surge, Hurricane, Resolving Vigor, because that's going to give you a nice little bit of tankiness. Between having a Hurricane and Resolving Vigor up, that's 9,000 extra resistances that you have. So make sure that both of those are active at all times. You want those active. So make sure those always are up. Also, hit Ellie Susceptibility on your enemies. Now they're a lot squishier. So the way I enter fights is I do Rending, and then I hit Blast Bones. Then I hit my Flames of Oblivion, and then I hit my Burning Embers. Right? I hit all of those, and now he's bleeding. Right? He's taking damage. Now, on cooldown, use Blast Bones whenever he's going down. Streak, Blast Bones. Make sure your buffs are up. Good. Keep your Ellie Susceptibility applied. Blast Bones, you want to make sure that your Flames of Oblivion is always applied. And now I'm just going to hit Rending again, because why not? You always want to keep it active. Keep all your Blast Bones up. Hit Flames of Oblivion, Blast Bones, and just keep on doing that. Rinse, repeat. Basically, the biggest thing is you always want to make sure your back bar buffs are up, and you always want to make sure that your enemy is hit with Rending Slashes. When they're hit with Rending Slashes, that is a great way to make sure that you're getting that extra damage from your damage bonus to everybody else from your Dragon's Appetite. And then also, that's a great way to keep your Master's Dual Wield up as well. So that is a great form of damage that you want to make sure is active at all times. So guys, that's the entire build. I genuinely like this thing a lot, and I hope that you guys do too. So guys, do me a giant favor, hit that thumbs up button for me. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video and making it here to this point. I've got a really fun BG in store for you guys, so make sure you watch that. It is a load of fun. I had so much fun with this match. So we're going to play that right now. I hope that you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.